Classes in Australia like?
Australia are much smaller, so a class might only be 20 or 25 students, and you kind of have tables together, so it's never in rows like this, it's just big tables, so it's very different. And we have a class per subject, so we have 4 subjects each semester. So we have a lecture, which is every student, so everyone has to go to that, and then we have a class of 25, so it's much smaller classes. So you say that your classes, everyone's in the same class, is that right? So you're all in the same classes together? So in Australia we have big lectures with everyone, but then our classes are with different people, so each class we have is never the same people, so it's a bit different. So I think I like it better that you have all your classes together. Lots of your subjects you'll have maybe 1 or 2 big assignments, so maybe you have to write an essay or a report. And again, with the teachers, you can't hand up drafts or anything for them to look at. It's always you have to do it yourself and then hand that up, and that's it. So they don't really help you with your writing, or it's very difficult if you're having trouble. And then for some subjects you'll have an exam at the end of the semester, so that might be worth half your marks. Otherwise you might just have 1 smaller assignment and then 1 big assignment. So if you fail the big assignment, you fail the subject. So it's difficult, but it depends on the subject. So last semester I had half my subjects had an exam, whereas the others didn't. It was just assignments and writing.
Your relationship with the teachers, do you communicate a lot in class or out of class or neither? Maybe are you going to talk about any topic, or are you likely to become close friends and you can eat outside together?
Yeah, not very close. It's very professional, so never ask them anything personal. It's always about the work. So you have your lecturer, who's kind of like the boss of the subject, and they don't know your student, they don't know us, like they just teach and that's it. But then you have your tutor, who's, I guess, your teacher for 20 students, so they might get to know you a bit more. Depending on the teacher, some don't really, it's just another student, so they don't really get to know each student individually, which is a bit hard. But then some teachers, they get to know their students, they get to know their names, they get to know how you like to study the best, and you can kind of ask them questions, but no, you never socialise out of uni. It's very professional. Yeah, it's very different.
But you can make your efforts to make friends with them.
Yeah, not really. It's very, it's always just about the work. It's never like, oh, let's go out for dinner or anything. It's never like that. Yeah, it's different. Because you only see them once a week as well, for maybe 2 hours a week, so I guess you're not building a relationship with the teacher because you're not really seeing them as much, so yeah.
Are there many activities or other some?
Yeah, uni has lots of like different groups. There's lots of sporting groups, so basketball, fencing, and it's very there's lots of international students that come to Australia, so they have lots of groups, so it's very multicultural and there's lots of groups, so there's always something for students to do. You might hang out with your uni friends or your school friends. You might go out for dinner or go to the movies or go out clubbing or, yeah, it's very, anything you really like to do. Sport's very popular in Australia, so on the weekends you might go and play sport or you might go and watch it. And people like to shop, people like to go to the country and see all the native animals. So people like to do that, go on holidays, like away from the city.